Speedway Sedans Live, proudly produced by Ash Media Speedway Footage. Brought to you by Speedway Sedans Australia, Adam Holt Industries, Campton Graphics and Signage, Cool Drive Distribution, Jules Furniture and Removalists, EB Graphics, Highline Racewear and Team Apparel, Mental Racewear, Pro One Race Parts, Speedway Sedans Queensland and Speedway Sedans Western Australia. Past the big crowd on the grassy banks, into the main straight, racing double green tonight, and it's Andy Maxwell Jr. who leads them up the main straight from Travis Hutchison. Ethan Geneva has gone totally backwards at the start of this one, right back through the field, and the outside run has certainly not paid off for him. So it's Andy Maxwell Jr. out in front from Travis Hutchison. Back in third place at this stage would be Heinrich Jenkins on the outside of Corey Sandow. Back then to Knox, Walker, Clark, Moss Buchanan, then 25 of Crutchley. And Ethan Geneva in more trouble than the early settlers is dead stone motherless last. Down the back straight, it's Andy Maxwell Jr. out in front in car 132. Travis Hutchison in car number 7 is in second place, 75, sorry. Then back to Corey Sandow. Fourth place, the 86 of Bailey Heinrich. Trouble between Heinrich and Sandow. Yellow lights have come on. Restart back underway. And into turn number 1, it's 132, Andy Maxwell Jr. from Travis Hutchison. Back to Corey Sandow in third place, then Dean Jenkins in fourth as they head down the back straight. set to go in the restart. So move out at turn 4. Greens are on. Good start again for Robbie Foe. Corey Borders there. And the second of the Tasmanians sneaking up the inside is the 71 of Luke Williams. Also there is Jason DeGoldie as 177 of Corey Bald takes the lead. Haven't had a Tasmanian victory, I don't think. I can't recall one. Robbie Foe's going to fight back though as they move into the main straight. It's Corey Bald, Robbie Foe, and the 71 of Luke Williams. Jason DeGoldie right there along with Cody Heinrich. Robbie Foe back in front. Back in 6th place, the 8 car of Paul Hayes as they move down the back straight. Jack Barnwell from Western Australia has made his way up to 7th. This is pretty hotly contested as they move out of turn 4 and back up the main straight. It's 115 Robbie Foe, the 2-time national champion, who leads them into turn number 1. They're going to have to go around the outside of him. Corey Bald is there along with Jason DeGoldie, a gap further back then to the 71 of Luke Williams as Matt Hammond makes another mistake in turn 4, and he is stone motherless last. Out of turn 4 they come into the main straight. Robbie Foe by a car length on Corey Bald. Jason DeGoldie in 3rd place, then in 4th place the 71 of Luke Williams. Cody Heinrich is 5th, the gap back into Hayes and Stewart, then Prideaux, Josephine Thompson, Dowie, and then Jack Barnwell and the 10 car of Matty Hammond. Now the 2 cars at the back of the field have both spun a couple of times, but out in front the lead 3. Right on song, Robbie Foe leads after 4. Corey Bald in 2nd, Jason DeGoldie 3rd, another spin and another one. Prideaux went and Jack Barnwell's gone. He's trying to back the car off the track. It's right in front of the leaders. The green lights remain on. The 71, Luke Williams, almost hit him, and the yellow lights have come on now. And we've got ourselves a stoppage. Back underway. Robbie Foe banks them right up. Down into turn 1, he's just ahead of Corey Bald and 127 Jason DeGoldie. 4th place is Cody Heinrich. Back in 5th is Luke Williams. Then Hayes in 6th place. Then Stewart is next. Then Prideaux as they head down into turn number 4. Into the main straight. 5 down, 7 to go for Robbie Foe. All curb hugging at the moment as they head out of turn number 2. 177 in 2nd place is Corey Bald from Tasmania. The Victorian Jason DeGoldie, best presented, is in 3rd. So move into the main straight to complete lap number lap number 6, and I've got 6 to go. Our race leader Robbie Foe still leads just from 177. So head down into turn number 3 and 4. It's Foe out in front. 177 is Bald, DeGoldie, Heinrich, Hayes, Williams, Stewart, Thompson. Prideaux is next. Into the 22 car, billowing plenty of smoke. And out in front, Robbie Foe is your race leader as they come into the main straight. Robbie Foe still leading Corey Bald, DeGoldie. A gap back then to Heinrich in 4th, Hayes in 5th, Stewart is next. And then back to Luke Williams as they move into the back straight yet again. 3.5 laps left to go for Robbie Foe out in front. Leads by a couple of car lengths. 2nd place is Corey Bald, still under pressure from 127 Jason DeGoldie. DeGoldie gets Bald off the curb, moves into 2nd place. Back then to Hayes, who's come up into 4th. As they head down the back straight, Hayes has come from the back of the field in car number 8. And is storming home, but it's going to be too late. A couple of laps left to go though for Robbie Foe out in front. 127, Jason DeGoldie, Corey Bald, Hayes, Heinrich, Stewart is next. So head down into the back straight here at AMP. 1.5 laps left to go in heat number 32 of the national title. And Robbie Foe will lead them up to the white flag. 1 lap to go in heat 32, and Jason DeGoldie is still close enough. Back then to Corey Bald and Hayes in 4th. DeGoldie close to a car length as Jack Barnwell spins for about the 3rd time in this race. So go down the back straight in the final time. Mum's going to be pretty happy downstairs as Robbie Foe comes out at turn number 4 and greets the double checkered flag. Robbie Foe by a car length on Jason DeGoldie, Corey Bald and then Hayes. Stewart is next, then Heinrich. Back then to the 71 to Luke Williams. Josephine Thompson will be next, Peter Dowie, Matt Hammond and And Jack Barnwell, after winning a race last night, has been last to complete the distance along with Tony Prideaux, and the time is 2:45.92.
Okay, Facebook universe, come into the cockpit here of Robbie Foe and have a look. Robbie, two-time champion, can you make it through tonight?
We'll give it our best shot. Hopefully that win should get us into the final. It was pretty untidy there, just trying to hold position down the bottom, but we made the car pretty loose just to do that, just to try and hang on, and hopefully, yeah, that gets us straight into the A and we don't have to do the B, and from there we'll give it our best. A lot of good cars, and but we're equally as good as far as the live axle cars. We're as good as any, and once the track widens up, we should be pretty good.
All right, mate, we wish you all the best going into deep into the night.
Cheers, and yeah, just thank the fans for coming out here to watch Stockies.
Okay, thank you very much, Robbie Foe.
Here we go with heat number 33, all about set to go. Away and racing. Down into turn number 1 and 2 for the first occasion, and it's Nathan Dunn who leads them through. And the charge of the Light Brigade is on. They're 3 wide. Marty Kelly on the inside. Daniel Amajuri in there as well. And the green machine is Reese Heinrich. As they move out of 3 and 4, Marty Kelly comes up on the inside of 114, Megan Forrest. Forrest holds second for the moment. Kelly there as well. Then Amajuri on the outside is double 2-1, Evan Wakefield. Reese Heinrich's gone back to 6th place. The 91 of Darren Brumfield, and Morris Ahern in the 54. John Stowart a long way back. I don't know what happened to him, but he's 3/4 of a lap behind already. As Dunn is the leader. Marty Kelly looking for a way through. Evan Wakefield, I know Evan Wakefield will not go the inside. He'll go the outside for sure, as Marty Kelly goes on the inside of Nathan Dunn, and Evan Wakefield will try an outside move. Megan Forrest is in 4th place. Reese Heinrich looking for a move on the outside as well. So head down into turn number 1 and 2. Marty Kelly is out in front and leads Nathan Dunn, then Evan Wakefield. Back then to Megan Forrest. Here comes Amajuri again. Reese Heinrich's about to be squashed out. He is. Goes back to 6th place. He's getting very, very competitive further back. Brumfield's in that group. And Reese Heinrich, the national champion's going backwards. Down into turn... Oh, there's trouble. I didn't see the start of that, but 2-2-1 is in the fence. Evan Wakefield down there in turn number 1. And on come the caution lights. Green here. They're racing. Away and racing down in. Marty Kelly leads them from 114 in 2nd place, which is Megan Forrest. Back then to Reese Heinrich. Nathan Dunn was sent to the rear of the field for that incident with Evan Wakefield. As they move out of 3 and 4 and into the main straight, Marty Kelly leading a heat of the national title. West Australian, I don't even think Marty would have thought he was going to win one of these, but he's doing a great job out in front. And driving away from Forrest in 2nd place, Megan Forrest in 2nd. Back then to Reese Heinrich, the national champion, in 3rd. Darren Brumfield, then Daniel Amajuri and Morris Ahern. Then there's a big gap to the rest of them, headed up by Rod Berry from the Northern Territory. But Marty Kelly's still out in front. 2nd place, it's Megan Forrest. One small mistake and Reese Heinrich is through. So before that restart, Reese Heinrich was as far back as 6th or 7th. Daniel Amajuri putting in a big one on the outside here of Brumfield, as Megan Forrest gets a little bit crossed up, and Brumfield goes around, goes on the inside, Amajuri the outside, and back then to Amajuri, to Ahern in 6th. He now moves to 5th, as Marty Kelly continues to lead as they move into the main straight with 5 laps to go. Reese Heinrich in 2nd, the national champion, trying to come underneath of Marty Kelly, who's keeping Heinrich interested by racing off the curb. Back in 3rd place, Brumfield, then Amajuri, Ahern, back to Megan Forrest, as we might have a new leader. We do. The 1 car hits the front, Reese Heinrich. Marty Kelly in 2nd place, back then to Brumfield, Ahern and Amajuri. As they head down into turn number 1 and 2. The race leader, the national champion, Reese Heinrich from Marty Kelly. 3rd place would be Darren Brumfield. 4th place is Morris Ahern. Then Amajuri, Megan Forrest. Trey Valentine a long way back with Nathan Dunn. The 111 James Jameson, Rodney Berry and John Stoward. Well, Marty Kelly trying to tack on here. 2 laps to go. He's not all that far behind Rhys Heinrich as they come into the main straight. Just the white and checkered flags to come. Past the big crowd here in the grass terraces. It's the 1 leading the 9. It's Rhys Heinrich by 3 car lengths over Marty Kelly. A long gap back then to Darren Brumfield and Morris Ahern. We're talking nearly 3 seconds. Out comes the white flag. 1 lap remaining here at AMP in heat 33 of the national title courtesy of Coopers. And it is Carnival 1. Rhys Heinrich looking for some big points. Second place, car number 9 of Marty Kelly. Then back to Brumfield, Ahern, Amajuri, and then Megan Forrest. That's the top half dozen. Well, they'll come out at turn 4 and be greeted by the double checkered flags. Put your hands together for the national champion. Rhys Heinrich first home. Kelly second, Brumfield third. Back then to 54, Morris Ahern. Daniel Amajuri is 5th, Megan Forrest is 6th. Back then to Trey Valentine in 7th, Nathan Dunn in 43. Long way back then to the double one of James Jameson, Rodney Berry and John Stoward. For some of those drivers, that's their last race of the competition. 3 minutes 3.56 for the last 9 laps. Put your hands together for Rhys Heinrich, the national champion. Next time we'll see him is in the national final. He wins by 0.966, and Marty Kelly had the quick lap at 19.747.
What you do when you are the reigning, defending and undisputed Australian champion, you get the points on the board just like Rhys did. Rhys, well done.
Yeah, that's a lot better than starting 21st, so we should be sitting in the top 3, I reckon. 3 wins in a second, can't go wrong, so now we're really happy with the car. The track's not too bad. I think it'll come on a bit up the top later on tonight. Hopefully it does, because that's where we love to run.
Mate, this green machine is percolating perfectly, and we wish you all the best going into tonight's final.
Yeah, thanks heaps, and thanks heaps to everyone that's come out tonight to watch the show. Hopefully we'll put on a bit of a crowd pleaser, and yeah, thanks to all my crew, sponsors, everyone who's got on board to get us here.
Okay, thanks very much, Rhys Heinrich.
Storm Norman, Hayden Norman needs some big points from Western Australia, but he's got a very tough hombre on the outside. It's the 111 car of Jacob Mills, and another very quick car behind him is Mark Jennings as they head out of turn number 2 and down the back straight. Jennings second on points at the moment, and Jacob Mills is also out there. He's 8th on points, but Hayden Norman is no slouch. Into the main straight they come. Norman, Mills and Jennings. Mills and Jennings. Jennings and Mills up behind Norman. Back in 4th place it's John Riley, then Brooke Ferguson, and then a gap to Donna Van Zenny in 6th place. But it's a race in 3 out in front, and Jacob Mills doesn't mind the outside run, that's for sure and certain, as Hayden Norman leads them up the main straight yet again. Jacob Mills and then back to Mark Jennings as they head down the back straight. 19.6 that time around. Jacob Mills looks to the inside of Hayden Norman as they come out of 3 and 4. Norman and Mills. Mills has hit the front. Mills takes the lead from Hayden Norman. Oh, he got it all crossed up, did Hayden Norman down there in turn 1. Rescued it well ahead of Mark Jennings. Back then to Brooke Ferguson. Then John Riley, Donna Van Zenny, Jared Babbitt. Bit of a mistake here for Matt Glab, and he is at the tail. Out of turn 4 they come, and skipping away is 111. Gets away does Jacob Mills. Hayden Norman in 2nd place. Mark Jennings 3rd, then back in 4th, 183, Brooke Ferguson. John Riley, Donna Van Zenny in the top half dozen. Then back to Jared Mabbott, Casey Staker from New South Wales in the 53. Then Peter Thompson and Matthew Glab at the tail. Margin is out to 1.2 seconds now. Jacob Mills, 8th on points. This will boost him right up towards the front. Casey Staker, the latest victim of turn 4, spins himself out, gets back in the game. The action now for 2nd and 3rd between Jennings and Norman. Norman in 2nd place. Ferguson now under pressure from the 44 from Tasmania, John Riley. Back to Mabbott, Donna Van Zenny is 7th, then Thompson, Staker, and here's our leaders back with us. It's the 111 of Jacob Mills who leads. So Mills out in front from Norman, and then back to Jennings, and there's a wall of cars after that. Several of them have had excursions onto the infield. They're a long way behind. Fourth place is Jared Mabbott, who's almost half a lap behind our race leader, which is Jacob Mills, Hayden Norman and Mark Jennings. And then it's a cut lunch and a water bag and a few other things as well before we get to fourth place, which is Jared Mabbott, Brooke Ferguson, Donna Vanzetti, John Riley, Peter Thompson and Matthew Glapp. Here's our race leader once again. The lap's ticking by, 3 to go. Mills out in front of Norman and Jennings. And then you've got to cast yourself to the back straight for the rest of them. As Hayden Norman made a mistake up there in turn 1 and 2, and Jennings looking to come through. Can't quite do so at this point in time. Casey Staker is in line to be passed now by Jacob Mills with a couple to go, as Norman and Jennings having a ding-dong battle here, and it's got a bit rough and rugged right here in the main straight between Norman and Jennings. It's for second and third, and the rest of them, here they come. They're lapping Matthew Glapp, Ferguson, Mabbott, Vanzetti, Riley, Trouble. There's a tyre there, and Jared Mabbott nearly took it out. White flag is out, 1 to go. There's a traffic jam over there on the back straight, to all on different laps, getting around Matthew Glapp. Meanwhile, Casey Staker has spun down on turn 4 and the yellow lights have had to come on. And we'll have a 2-lap restart to decide this one. Well, the battle for fourth place was rather hectic. No, the yellow lights are back on. No, the green lights are on. We're away and racing. And out in front, it's 111 Jacob Mills who'll lead them down the back straight from Jennings and Norman. A gap to Brooke Ferguson. So they come out of fourth, they'll greet the white flags. 1 lap to go here in heat number 34, the national title. And Hayden Norman is up behind Jennings and Mills. Mills, who is 8th on points, Jennings 2nd on points leading into this race. So some good points for Jennings, some better points though for Jacob Mills. Put your hands together for him from New South Wales. Jacob Mills first across the line. Jennings and then Norman. Back then to Ferguson, Mabbott, Donna Vanzetti. John Riley is next, then Casey Staker. And Matthew Glapp, Peter Thompson was in that group as well. We've got a car in the fence after it finished.
Well, no complaints here from the cockpit of the Jacob Mills Patriot machine. Jacob, all smiles, mate. Well done.
Yeah, mate, that's good. We needed that for points in the final. Yeah, it's getting a bit tough out there, a bit black on the bottom, but we'll work it out.
Mate, she's been a topsy-turvy title so far, mate, but we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. How are you feeling? How's the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident. Got a good team behind me and all the sponsors, and make it all happen. You know, Ken, Reg, Corbett, you know, they're the best team owners I've ever had. All the support from home it's been unbelievable. This is just awesome.
Well, mate, I'm sure they're all watching you on the live feed. Speedway Sedan's Australia now, mate, so if you want to give a big cheer out, here's your chance.
Yeah, to Jem and the kids, Aaliyah, hope you're watching Dad, mate. Hope I can bring a trophy home for you, mate.
All right, thank you very much, Jacob, aboard the Patriot as we now cross.
Heat 35, 5 to come after this one. Full field as Jason Foe leads them into the main straight with Corey Greening. Kerry Weston is there as well as they head down into turn number 1. Also on the inside there is Matthew Atkinson from Tasmania as they head out of turn 2, 3 wide. Atkinson on the inside of that group of cars as they come out of turn 4. Andrew Jordan is there as well. He was on the inside of Corey Greening momentarily. Keenan Richards is up there along with the 38 car of Mark Gardner as they head up into the top turn underneath the time clock, and Kerry Weston's out in front. Back to Jason Foe in second place. Third place is Matthew Atkinson, then back to Gardner in fourth. Fifth place would be Andrew Jordan in the 89, and then back to Corey Greening on the inside. On the outside of him is Ricky Throckmorton. Keenan Richards is there. Stephen Watts, the 58 of Neville Nitschke, and there's plenty of action further back in the field as our race leader is Kerry Weston. Second place is Jason Foe, a gap back then to Matthew Atkinson. On the outside of Atkinson and coming on strongly now is the 38 of Mark Gardner. Back then to Andrew Jordan, who got crossed up ahead of Corey Greening. On the outside of Corey Greening is 182 Ricky Throckmorton. as they head out of turn 2. Kerry Weston splits the scene, has a handy lead now on Jason Foe. Back in third place, it's still the Tasmanian Matt Atkinson. On the outside of him is Mark Gardner, and then a gap to Andrew Jordan. Ricky Throckmorton, and on the inside of him is Corey Greening. Stephen Watts, Neville Nitschke is next, then Adrian Wright, the 66er, Keenan Richards, and last is Wade Fell. The yellow lights have come on. We've got a car that's lost a wheel. It's Jason Foe in 47, and the wheel is making its way down the track and then falls in a hole over in the middle of turn number 3. Wish you were here, Alan, as they move into the main straight. The green lights are on. And it's Kerry Weston who leads them into turn number 1 underneath the time clock. Back in second place, it's Matty Atkinson, and right there too is Mark Gardner in car number 38. Back in fourth place, it's Andrew Jordan, then Ricky Throckmorton. Well, Matt Atkinson's out off the curb, and Gardner, a beautiful move through on the inside, moves into second place. Jordan is under pressure as well, this time from Ricky Throckmorton. Stephen Watts in the top half dozen as they head down the back straight here at AMP, bathed in sunshine. And it's Kerry Weston out in front as we come up to the halfway mark. 6 down and 6 to go. It is Kerry Weston from Gardner. From the Tasmanian 135, Matt Atkinson. Another massive number, 182. In fourth place is Ricky Throckmorton. Back then to Andrew Jordan, Stephen Watts. Neville Nitschke is next, then Corey Greening, Andrew Wright, Keenan Richards and Wade Fell. Into the main straight, it is a race in 2 though. The veteran driver of Kerry Weston out in front, holding off Mark Gardner. Back in third place, a gap back then to 182, Ricky Throckmorton and Matthew Atkinson. And then a gap back then to Andrew Jordan in fifth, and Stephen Watts and Neville Nitschke. 4 laps to go for Kerry Weston. Mark Gardner in second place. Throckmorton back then to Atkinson. Fifth place is Jordan, then Watts and Nitschke. But it's certainly a race in 2 as Wade Feld takes an excursion. Mark Gardner is trying ever so much to get Kerry Weston off the curb. In fact, goes into the side of him, had to button off. Kerry Weston is curb hugging at the moment, and Mark Gardner is going to have to go on the outside to pass him with 2.5 laps left to go. Back in third place, it's Throckmorton, then Atkinson. Jordan is next. Neville Nitschke coming under Stephen Watts, but Kerry Weston still leads with 2 to go. What will Mark Gardner do? Will he go the outside run? He looks to, underneath the time clock. A 20.7 the last time. He's trying to level up with Kerry Weston. Down the back straight, they'll come into the main straight with 1 lap to go. Kerry Weston in front. On the outside is Mark Gardner, and then back to Ricky Throckmorton. They're homeward bound in heat number 35 of the national title. Kerry Weston just in front. Mark Gardner is going to have to go the outside. Here he comes down the back straight at AMP for the last time. It's the veteran driver Kerry Weston in front. Mark Gardner still trying the outside run. It won't be enough. And Kerry Weston is first home. Kerry Weston, a veteran of street stock racing, is first. Second place goes the way of Mark Gardner, Ricky Throckmorton. Back to Matthew Atkinson, Andrew Jordan, Neville Nitschke, Stephen Watts. Back then to Corey Greening, Adrian Wright, Wade Fell, Keenan Richards, and Jason Foe lost a wheel. So he comes into the main straight, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Kerry Weston. He's been running street stock a long time, and a great win here in heat number 35. Second is Mark Gardner, Ricky Throckmorton third, and Kerry Weston had the quick lap of 19.578.
Okay, we're down here with the wild turkey, Mr. Kerry Weston. He's been doing this a hell of a long time. Kerry, tell me, what is it? What keeps bringing you back season after season?
Good question. First of all, I want to dedicate that win to the Miller family and Bill Miller. I know how hard the Miller family are working to keep this fantastic going, and you all need to appreciate that. I'd also like to thank my 86-year-old father up the top there who started me off in Speedway 60 years ago. And why do I keep coming back? Bloody good fun, Paris. What am I going to do? Sit in the wheelchair?
That's exactly right, Kerry. You certainly worked really hard in that, mate. Well done. We look forward to seeing how the night progresses.
Yes, Paris. I'll never word him in the pits.
All right, there you go, race fans. And at the end of the night, race fans, especially bring your kids down to see Kerry. Kerry's got some autographed handout postcards for the kids, so go down there and grab yourself one from the Wild Turkey. And he's telling me right now he needs a push.
All about set to go. Heat 36, only 5 heats to go in the national title. And away they go. This one will be hotly contested as well. Up into the top turn, Darren Giacometti on the outside of Craig Clayton. Giacometti takes the lead back then to Michael Hammond in third. Paul Briggs fourth, and then back to Colin Peaton in fifth place as they move out of turn 3 and 4 the first time. Out in front, there's trouble. Michael Hammond went sideways. Oh, and this is a big story because Brad McClure at the back of the field had nowhere to go. He hit the fence, but Michael Hammond has got massive damage to the front of the 78 car after going sideways, and we've got the yellows on, and we're going to have a bit of a break before this one's cleaned up. Anthony Bear also at the inquiry base, so too Paul Briggs. Well, Anthony Bear's missing the whole side of his car. The final qualifying heat for this group of 10 cars is underway. So head up into the top turn. Craig Clayton from Newman in Western Australia leads them through, but here comes Giacometti. David Barry moves into third. Here comes also Anthony Bear looking to come underneath of Paul Briggs as they move into turn 3 and 4. It's Craig Clayton though out in front. Giacometti goes to the inside as Clayton's up with us. He's gone extremely wide. He's gone back 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. Paul Briggs the last one to go through. In fact, add Simon Smith's path to that group as Giacometti leads David Barry. Back in third place, it's Anthony Bear and Paul Briggs. Then a gap back to Simon Smith's path. Colin Peaton on the outside, and Craig Clayton was in front a lap ago. He's now in 6th place. So head down into turn number 1 underneath the time clock, which shows that they're going pretty quickly indeed. It's Giacometti from David Barry. Back in third place is that of Anthony Bear. A few car lengths back to Paul Briggs. Then Spitzpath on the outside of Craig Clayton. So moving to the main straight, Giacometti just in front as David Barry's trying to line him up. Underneath the time clock yet again. Out of turn number 2, Giacometti's well and truly off the curb. He's up near the wall. David Barry not quite close enough to make a move stick on that occasion. Anthony Bear right there with them. Paul Briggs a few car lengths behind. Barry makes a mistake, and the pink and white car moves into 2nd place. Paul Briggs moves to 3rd as David Barry might have a flat tyre, I suspect, and he's gone right back through the field, so that's rotten luck for David Barry, who was contending for the lead a moment ago, and now he's staying nonetheless last. Out of turn 4 they'll come yet again. Darren Giacometti is the race leader. Back in 2nd place, Anthony Bear. Paul Briggs in 3rd place. The pedal's starting to fall off of Briggs's car as well. Back in 4th place, it's Craig Clayton as Anthony Bear's starting to get busy on the inside of Darren Giacometti. After Craig Clayton in 4th place, it's Brad McClure who's made his way to 5th on the outside of Simon Spitzpath. Into the main straight, another lap put together. 6 down and 6 to go. Darren Giacometti, the Queensland champion, leads Anthony Bear, a 22-time state champion and 3 times national champion in street stock. He also won 1 in production sedans as well. He's there in 2nd place. Back to Paul Briggs in 3rd. 4th place is Craig Clayton, then Simon Spitzpath, and Brad McClure tucked away in 6th. So the lap's ticking by. 7 down and 5 to go. Giacometti makes a mistake, and Anthony Bear is looking to come underneath. He nearly levels up, but Giacometti just has enough in reserve. Down into turn 3 they'll go yet again. It's a race in 2. Paul Briggs is clear in 3rd. Back in 4th place it's Craig Clayton. Giacometti just holding the lead. Anthony Bear trying every trick in the book, but Giacometti for the most part has stayed on the curb. Oh, I spoke too soon. He got off the curb once too often, and Anthony Bear has hit the front. So Anthony Bear takes the lead. Can Giacometti fight back on the outside? They come out of turn 4 into the main straight. It's Anthony Bear from Giacometti. Paul Briggs is starting to close the gap. Back then to Craig Clayton in 4th. Spitzpath and then back to Brad McClure. 3 laps to go this time around, and our race leader is Anthony Bear, out by a couple of car lengths. Giacometti 2nd, Paul Briggs 2 car lengths behind in 3rd. Back then to Craig Clayton, Spitzpath, and back to Brad McClure, Colin Peaton, Anthony Buchanan, and Felicity Roycroft. Down into turn 1 with 1 3/4 laps left to go. It's Anthony Bear by a couple of car lengths. Giacometti 2nd, Paul Briggs still there in 3rd. Back in 4th is Craig Clayton, he's all by himself. Back to Spitzpath and then back to Brad McClure. White flag comes out, they're homeward bound, 1 to go, and Anthony Bear seems to have done enough. Giacometti in 2nd, Paul Briggs a couple of car lengths behind in 3rd. Back then to Craig Clayton, Spitzpath, McClure, back then to Peaton, Buchanan and Felicity Roycroft. That's the way they probably are going to finish, apart from McClure is making a move now. But put your hands together for Anthony Bear, first across the line. Good set of laps. Giacometti second. Paul Briggs in third. Back then to Craig Clayton in fourth. McClure might get Smith's path, he does. Back in seventh is Colin Pete, and then Felicity Roycroft and Anthony Buchanan. Let's have a look at the time for the race. 20.53 for the last lap. 19.693 was the quick lap. Sorry, 19.618 was the quick lap by Darren Giacometti.
Well, down here with Anthony Beer, I tell you what, mate, she was hard going.
Yeah, hopefully we've got a few more lanes in that gutter in the feature, because we should be in A now, so we had to work hard. I'd like that sort of track if we didn't drop that heat last night to be looking at front row. But we've got what we got. We've done the hard yards now and see how much damage we got from there's a pretty big crash here in that first corner. And poor Hammer, I don't know what happened, but all I saw is in the door with me. So it's not a good thing to happen for poor Mick, because he was good and he's had a couple bad runs now, but that's how easy it happens, mate.
Just speaking very quickly, mate, before we go to the next race, with the added air conditioning there, the door missing, does that play with your mind much when you're driving, or are you just back into business?
On the yellow light, it plays a bit of a game, and it's not nice looking at the cars there, but when it's green, honestly, I didn't even know the door was missing when it's green. So we're just looking straight out the front, trying to go forward, and yeah, we'll go from there.
All right, mate, we look forward to watching the 46 progress. Kai to you.
Thanks, Kai. We're all about set to go now with heat number 37. Away and racing. Good even dispatch. Wayne Shearman leads them down the main straight. Matt Nelson in second place. This time they're going the traditional way. And there's trouble as Riley goes sideways. Stops the progress of a couple of cars. The yellow lights come on. It's Ben Riley, one of the three Rileys racing this weekend. Back underway. Shearman leads. Chris Hay on the outside. Matt Nelson goes through into second place. Riley is there as well, Blomley. And on the outside of Blomley would be Kate Cox. 2 and 3 wide on this occasion, and that's for the lead. Nelson goes around the outside and takes the lead away. Shearman in second, Hay third, Ben Riley in fourth, then Blomley. Kate Cox is there, and on the middle is the 82 car of Shane Roycroft, and another one on the extreme outside is Ben Whitehead as they move into the main straight, and it's Matt Nelson out in front from Shearman, Hay, Riley, Whitehead. Cox is there, Blomley, also Brumfield, Jaden Dredge, Roycroft, and they've got Craig Buchanan tucked away at the tail of the field. So it's a pretty hotly contested battle for the minors, but out in front it's Matt Nelson who leads. 169 in second place. It's Wayne Shearman. Go down a couple of decibels, there's 142. Debated, we're back underway. This is heat number 37 of the national title, and Matt Nelson leads. Wayne Shearman back in third place, Ben Riley, and then Whitehead is fourth, Cox, then Brumfield, then Roycroft, Jaden Dredge, Blomley and Buchanan. Indian final at the moment, apart from the 82 car of Roycroft who's starting to make an outside move, but it's Matt Nelson who leads them down the main straight. Second place it's Wayne Shearman. Tasmanian, Ben Riley in third place. Fourth place is Ben Whitehead, and then Kate Cox. Roycroft is next. So come underneath the time clock with 8 laps to go now. Out in front it's Matt Nelson. I was going to say showing them a clean back bumper, but there's a lot of things falling off, a lot of cars. We'll have to check it again and see if he has got a clean back bumper, Matt Nelson. Back in second place it's Shearman, Cox, then Whitehead. Plenty of positional changes further back in the field. Here comes Cox on the inside, moves into second, Shearman back to third. Fourth place is Whitehead. There in the middle is Ben Riley, Jaden Dredge in the black 13, and Roycroft on the outside are fighting for 5th, 6th and 7th. Back into the 15 car of Brumfield, Buchanan and then Blomley. So Nelson leads, Cox, back into Whitehead, Shearman, Jaden Dredge. Oh, look out, that was going to happen. Nowhere to go for Blomley in the 68. Jaden Dredge was left and right and then left again. The radiator's gone on the 68 car. There's plenty of water pouring out the back, the front end of that car. And Jaden Dredge is stranded here in the main straight. We're under yellows with 6 down and 6 to go. Matt Nelson, hang on, he's the South Australian champion from Victoria, leads them down the main straight. Back in second place, Kate Cox. Third place, it's Ben Whitehead, then Wayne Shearman. Back then to Ben Riley, then Roycroft in the 82, the Shane Roycroft, and at the tail, it's Craig Buchanan. 5 laps to go in this heat of the national title. Heat 37, the Coopers National Street Stock title, down into turn number 1, and it's the 61 who leads them. It's Matt Nelson from Victoria, Kate Cox and Ben Whitehead, the South Australians, running second and third as they move down into turn number 3 and 4. Cox has moved out of the curb and out of noise. Into the main straight they come, they've all missed him. So that leaves Whitehead in second place as they head down the back straight yet again. Third place now is Riley from Tasmania, as they then have Roycroft, Buchanan and Shearman, and 6 cars remain in, well, this is the smallest field we've had finish any of the heats. Out in front it's still Nelson who leads with 3 to go. Whitehead in second place, back then in third place it is Ben Riley, back to Roycroft, Buchanan and Wayne Shearman. And even Shearman in 6th place at this stage will pick up 10 points at the end of this. Nelson though will possibly get 36 if he can hold it together for 2 more laps. Second place is Whitehead, and third place is Ben Riley, then Roycroft, Buchanan and Wayne Shearman. They'll come up to greet the white flag. There is 1 lap to go in heat 37 of the national title. And out in front it is Matt Nelson from Whitehead, Riley in third, back in 4th place. It's the 82 of Roycroft, then Buchanan and Wayne Shearman. But for the most part, he's been out of trouble. Put your hands together for him from Victoria. Car number 61, Matt Nelson first home. Good drive. Second place is going to be Ben Whitehead. And it's a good old stoush for the Miners. Sneaking up on the inside is Craig Buchanan, who got third. 4th place, Ben Riley, Shane Roycroft and Wayne Shearman. And nobody else finished the 12-lap journey. 19.5 was Matt Nelson's quick lap.
Okay, down here with Matt Nelson right now. We'll just get a zoom in here. How good would it be for Matt tonight to take the word south away from that graphic and become the Australian champion? Well done, Matty. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you. It was tough out there. The steering's still not right from the crash the other night. Just trying to get out there. I've got to thank everyone that helped us get out there yesterday and all the work that people put in to help us to get back out there. It's awesome.
Well, you've taken my next question. We were going to ask how's the steering after yesterday's damage, but good to see they're out there, mate. And hopefully you can bring the car home well in the final.
Yeah, hopefully with that, I should be somewhere in the B, hopefully, and I can try and move forward and see if we can get there in the A.
Well, mate, we certainly look forward to seeing you do that. And maybe you can take the word south away from South Australia one on the door.
We can always hope, but we'll wait and see.
All right, thank you very much, Matt Nelson.
About to get a green light, heat 38, only a couple left. So move down into turn number 1, and the charge of the light brigade's on. Darren Flatman has hit the front, and that'll send the place into rapture so if he can hang on for the next 11.5 laps. As here come the challengers further back in the field. Sean Henry in the green car has moved up to 4th place, but it's Flatman from Merritt. Third place is the 112 Lee Gooding, then Sean Henry. Sneaking up on the inside is Nathan Barbler from Queensland. Back then to the 141 of Darren Forrest, and Hayden Jolly's there as well. And Nigel Reichstein, one of the highest qualifiers, is starting to make his presence felt, but he's back in 8th place at the moment. There's a long way to go. Darren Flatman out in front. 112 Lee Gooding in 2nd place. Barbler 3rd. 4th place Merritt. The highest, widest of all is Sean Henry, but he ran out of racing room on that occasion. Forrest comes underneath. Reichstein's there along with Hayden Jolly. I think someone may have popped a tyre there as they move into the main straight. Yes, they have. 112 Lee Gooding has a flat tyre, and he'll be out of the race. And all the while, Darren Flatman is getting further and further in front. Barbalet's there in second place from Queensland. Back then to Scotty Merritt in third. Back then to Forrest and then Henry. Nigel Wrightstein's up to sixth, then Hayden Jolly. Back then to Cody Avens in eighth place. Ninth is Eric Donaldson. Further back to Lee Gooding and James Dennis. Dennis now moves up as Gooding goes infield. Nathan Barber is starting to make some progress into the lead of Darren Flatman. Out of turn number 4 they come. It's Darren Flatman, the race leader. Car number 12 leads them up the main straight with still some 7 laps to go. Nathan Barber, though, from Queensland is eyeing off for 36 big points. Then they're blocked up behind Forrest. We've got one car down the other end of the track going in the wrong direction at the moment. The green lights remain on, and that's James Dennis from the Northern Territory. Into the main straight at the halfway mark. Darren Flatman still in front. Barbara in second place. Third place, 141, Darren Forrest. Sean Henry, then Nigel Reichstein. A couple of car lengths back then to Scotty Merritt and Hayden Jolly, and then Cody Avens as they come up now behind the back marker from the Northern Territory, James Dennis. And there is still some 5 laps to go. Darren Flatman trying to find a way past the lap car of James Dennis. But Dennis is going as quick as anyone else at the minute. Back in third place, it's still Forrest. Then Henry, a gap then to Reichstein, as Barbara is right up there behind Darren Flatman. They'll come out of turn 4 with 4 to go, and Dennis spins again right in front of the leaders. And they've got around him for the most part. The yellow lights have come on. And that was pretty scary stuff for our leader, Darren Flatman, who could have just about gone through the front door of James Dennis, who spun in the same place a couple of laps earlier. And we'll have a 5-lap restart. There'll be a little bit of history created. We'll tell you about that if it happens. Back then to 141 of Darren Forrest in third place. So head up into the top turn. Sean Henry breaks formation, and he's going to try the big move around the outside. It may pay off. Sean Henry moves up the outside. They're 3 wide for second place. Henry on the extreme outside, Barber in the middle, and on the inside Darren Forrest. Oh, there's a mistake there by the 88, and Sean Henry has gone from 4th nearly into the lead as Darren Flatman tries to cover. He does, just in the nick of time. Back then to Forrest in third. Oh, Barber spins himself out over there in turn number 2 as Sean Henry has another look underneath of Darren Flatman. It's Flatman just in front from Henry, fighting back on the outside. It won't matter, the yellow lights have come on as Nathan Barbara now drives away after spinning over on turn number 2. But Sean Henry, Forrest, Reichstein has made his way to 4th. They're going to have to go the outside on Darren Flatman, and that's what Sean Henry has done. And Sean Henry has hit the front as they head down the back straight. But here comes Flatman back into the equation, side by side out of 3 and 4. Flatman the inside, but Sean Henry has gone right round the outside and taken the lead. Flatman back to second place, back then to Forrest in third. As Forrest has now gone to the second, Flatman's hit the fence. He bounces off the wall, and straight into him goes Eric Donaldson, straightens Flatman up. And Darren Flatman has gone from chocolates to boiled lollies, first to last in half a lap. Darren Forrest has gone sideways, has gone around, and has a traffic jam here in the main straight. The yellow lights have come on again, and it's all gone pear-shaped on lap number 9 of the national title, heat number 38. Eric Donaldson's missing a whole side of his car. That's 141. Darren Forrest rear of the field. Down the main drag they come with a couple of laps left to go. Sean Henry has gone via the Cape down there and has now got Nigel Reichstein for company. So go down into turn number 3 and 4. There'll be 2 to go this time around. Reichstein the inside, Henry the outside. Look at the action here, still side by side. Sean Henry leads by 0.02 of a second. Henry the outside and Reichstein the inside. A great battle for third as well between Hayden Jolly, Nathan Barber and Cody Avens. Sean Henry pokes the nose back in front. They'll come up for the white flag, 1 to go. And Sean Henry leads Nigel Reichstein as Hayden Jolly goes left in a right-hand turn. That allows Barber back into third place. Sean Henry out in front under the time clock. The bathing sunshine here in AMP. Jack leads down the back straight, and Sean Henry looks like he's done enough. He started out of position number 4, and he's going to be first to the checkered flag. Put your hands together for Sean Henry, who wins heat number 38 of the national title. Reichstein second, Nathan Barber recovered for third. Hayden Jolly 4th, then back to Cody Avens. Darren Forrest is 6th. And James Dennis, not for the first time, has spun down there in turn number 4, is still rocking and rolling the car, trying to get to the finish line in car number 164. The last 3 laps in 53.64. And The winning margin was 1.044 in the quick lap at 19.449 by Sean Henry, who defeats Nigel Reichstein and Nathan Bubble.
Down with the Victorian Sean Hendry here at Adelaide Motorsport Park. And Sean, that is the best way to finish around the heats, mate. Well done.
Yeah, I needed that one because I'm a fair bit back in points, but yeah, I was pushing pretty hard trying to get to the front then.
Mate, when you showed your nose to Darren Flatman and then the lights went on, I thought, oh no, that might have wised Darren up and he might have had you covered. But to your luck and hard skill and good driving, mate, you managed to fight your way through.
Yeah, I knew he was trying to psych me up a little bit there, trying to get real close and just sat on the roll around, but I wasn't getting psyched out, so should be right.
Just quickly, mate, who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank my parents, family and all my crew that come and help me. My fiance up there, all the sponsors are on the car. They've sort of done all the work to get me here this weekend.
Thank you very much, Sean. We'll let you go back to the pits as we...
Penultimate heat of the national title is all go. The green lights come on, and Lenny Bates and Mick Dan lead them into turn number one. This will be hotly contested. Matthew Maynard there on the outside. On the inside is Chris Watmore as they head down the back straight the first time. Daryl Atkinson is also there in the blue and yellow car, and on the outside of him it is the 97 of Jamie Stewart, and then back to Peter Herbert in 49, Damon Thompson. 145 is next Robert Smith, and then Andrew Burgoyne. Out of turn number two, Lenny Bates hasn't been beaten in this entire event so far, and he leads this one. Back in second place is Mick Dan. Third place, Daryl Atkinson. On the outside is Matthew Maynard. Yellow lights have come on with a car on the back straight, bathing in the sunshine over there, and the yellow lights have come on. It's Robert Smith in 145. Lenny Bates leads Mick Dan. Third place is the 42 car of Chris Watmore, then Matthew Maynard. Daryl Atkinson spins himself out over there in the 37. He'll go back to second last or last. There's a move by Matthew Maynard on the outside of Watmore as they come into the main straight. It's the 74 of Lenny Bates who leads. Back in second place, it's Mick Dan. His 21st consecutive national title. Back in third place, it's Matthew Maynard. It's got around Watmore. Then in fifth place is Jamie Stewart. The 49 car is next, which is Peter Herbert. So move into the main straight. Our race leader got a flat tyre on one of the cars here in this group, which is I think Matthew Maynard, who is going to be out of commission. So Maynard fighting on the outside, but he's battling a losing cause as they head down the back straight. Herbert is also gone in the 49 car. Maynard is chewing the track up in the 55. It's all over the place at the moment, and he has a back flat tyre, and he pulls the car to the infield now, and he's OUT out along with Peter Herbert. The greens are on at the moment. They are literally spread out all over the racetrack, and the yellow lights have come on. 74 Lenny Bates has 8 laps to go. So green lights come on, down into turn number one. Mick Dan in second place. Third place is Watmore, Damon Thompson, then Daryl Atkinson. Then back in sixth place is Andrew Burgoyne in the 93. Then Jamie Stewart and Robert Smith. They come out of 3 and 4 into the main straight, the shadows of the main straight grandstand. And it's Lenny Bates who leads with 5 laps to go. Mick Dan in second, Watmore third. Back then to 101, Damon Thompson. Then the 37 car of Daryl Atkinson. Then the 93 is next of Andrew Burgoyne. Stewart, and last car running is Robert Smith. So Lenny Bates has 6 laps to negotiate to go through all 4 heats undefeated, which is some sort of a performance. Back in second place, the 0 of Mick Dan. Third place, it's Chris Watmore, then Damon Thompson. Thompson looking to come underneath the Watmore, might get it done underneath the time clock. So they come up with 5 laps to go. Lenny Bates leads, Dan, Thompson into third, Watmore back to fourth. Back then to Atkinson, Burgoyne, the 97 car of Stewart, and at the tail it's Smith. The battle is on for third, Watmore and Thompson. As they move out of 3 and 4, Lenny Bates has 4 to go. Circulating in 19-second laps. So he heads down the back straight. Watmore back to third. 101, Damon Thompson back to fourth, then Atkinson fifth. Burgoyne, Stewart and Smith. So no change in the order apart from third and fourth, as Lenny Bates continues to move down the main straight at 20.2 that time around. Lenny Bates leads Mick Dan. Watmore's off the curb and Damon Thompson's back in third. Watmore back around the outside. So Watmore and Thompson third and fourth as they go under the time clock. 2 laps to go, and our race leader is well clear. Lenny Bates leads from 102. Mick Dan, Damon Thompson third. On the inside comes Darrell Atkinson. Watmore goes back to fifth. Back in sixth place is Jamie Stewart. Then we have Andrew Burgoyne and Robert Smith. White flag comes out for the second last time in the qualifying heats. It's Lenny Bates, Dan, then Thompson, Atkinson, and Watmore is up against the fence. Gets the car mobile. But ladies and gentlemen, he comes out at 3 and 4. How about standing up and putting hands together for Lenny Bates? He's won all 4 heats of the national title. An amazing performance. 120 cars, and he has won all of them. Lenny Bates is first. Mick Dan is second. Damon Thompson and then Darrell Atkinson. Fifth place will go to the 93 of Andrew Burgoyne, then Jamie Stewart. Then we go back to Robert Smith and Chris Watmore. That's 120 cars, and you go through the night undefeated. It was done at...
Lenny Bates, an absolute ripper performance. You've had 4 opportunities to take the heat. You took all 4 of them.
Yeah, that's it, eh? All that does is guarantee us in the final, mate. We can win one more, mate. I'll be wrapped.
In talking about the final, you'll be starting off the pole after clean sweeping this weekend so far.
Yeah. If you had said that to me on Thursday, mate, I would have just laughed at you. 120 plus cars here, best in the country, and I'm wrapped.
The last qualifying heat's about to roll out now. Who do you reckon will be right on your tail during 40 laps?
I reckon Reece might be up there, and don't count out Berry. He's probably my tip, actually. Reece, even Jacob Mills, he's right up there too. Who knows? There's probably half a dozen cars out there that can win it. You need a bit of luck, and see what happens.
Well, we'll see you later in the big dance, and congratulations on the weekend so far.
Yeah, thank you. I'd just like to shout at everyone watching at home, thank you.
We'll come back to that. It's been changed for a second time. Oops, and this is going to end in tears for someone. They stowed each other in the backside numerous times. Several of those cars as they came past us. The green lights remain on, and down the back straight they go. Our race leader is Brendan Green from Tasmania. Back in second place it's Jason Jewell. Wayne Fosterus on the outside. Dale Blomley is there. Dale Riley Jr., Jace Kempton, Jaden Edwards. They're nearly 4 wide. Jace Kempton has been squashed up into the concrete wall in the main straight. Grant Harris went underneath of him. Back then to Jared Wilkinson, and at the tail of the field it's the 77 of Melissa Crutchley. Out of turn 4, our race leader is Brendan Green from Tasmania. Jewell in second place. Back then to Jaden Edwards, Wayne Fosterus. Dale Riley Jr. is next. Fosterus up against the concrete wall. So head out of turn 2 and back down the back straight. Our race leader is Brendan Green from Tasmania. Jason Jewell, the immaculate car number 18 in second place. Jaden Edwards third. Dale Riley Jr. from Tassie, they're in fourth place. Then Fosterus. Sixth place, it's the 64 car of Dale Blomley. Then Grant Harris. Then Jace Kempton is the next car running. A long gap back then to Jared Wilkinson and Melissa Crutchley. Into the main straight they come. The race leader is the 45 car of Brendan Green. Does the quick lap of the race. A 19.745. It'll amount to naught, because there's a car spun down here in turn 4. It's the 64 car. Back into the main straight, the green lights are back on. Brendan Green looking for the biggest win of his career. Heads up the main straight underneath the time clock, and then 3 wide further back. Wayne Fosterus, the widest of all, comes around the outside of Jace Kempton, and now looking to the outside of Dale Riley Jr. and Kempton sneaks up under Riley Jr. There's still 3 wide. Fosterus, the widest of all, still he's lost out. Oh, trouble here. Riley Jr. into the fence along with Fosterus into the back of him. They both bounce off and continue, though Phosphorus has smoke coming out the back end. And the green lights have remained on. Jaden Edwards has moved into second place underneath of Jason Jewell. Phosphorus retires from the race. Brendan Green out in front. Jaden Edwards coming on like a steam train now. Back in third place, Jason Jewell, then Jace Kempton. Fifth place is the 64 of Jaden Blomley. Back in sixth after that would be Grant Harris. Dale Riley Jr. having trouble steering the 28 car. Underneath goes Jared Wilkinson, and then back to Melissa Crutchley. Into the main straight, the race leader is the 45 car of Brendan Green. He's driving the wheels off the 45, trying to stay out in front of the Tasmanian. Back in second place, the 87 of Jaden Edwards and Jason Jewell. A gap back then to Jace Kempton, who got out of shape coming out of turn number 2. As our race leader, he gets out of shape in turn number 4. He straight lined the corner, that's for sure. He's still out in front, but he's every which way but loose at the moment. Brendan Green, he's come back to the field. Jaden Edwards in second place. He runs wide, and also there is Jason Jewell. But Brendan Green seems to have the measure of the second and third place cars at the moment. Out of 3 and 4 he comes. Into the main straight, Jaden Edwards screws it down tight. Tries to come underneath, and Brendan Green has lost the lead. He'll lose second place as well. Jason Jewell goes into second. Green back to third. He's every which way but loose at the moment. Back then to Jace Kempton in fourth place. He has a flat tyre as Brendan Green. Jace Kempton's trying to go on the outside of him. He does. Moves into third. But it's a race in 2 between the South Australians. It's Jaden Edwards just in front. Second place, the 18 car of Jason Jewell, the Northern Territory champion. They're coming up behind Melissa Crutchley, and Jason Jewell is going to level up here with Jaden Edwards. Which way will they zig and zag underneath Melissa Crutchley? Both of them go the inside run. As they move out of 3 and 4, there'll be 2 laps to go. It's Edwards, Jewell, and Jewell's out of noise. Jason Jewell's out of noise, and that puts Jace Kempton into second place. There's hardly anybody left. As they go down the back straight, it's all Jaden Edwards all of a second. He's a mile out in front. Kempton is second. Jason Jewell is still well clear in third. As they come out of turn 4, the white flag is out, and Jaden Edwards looks like he's going to take it out. Kempton in second place has come from position number 10 on the grid. Back in third is still Jason Jewell. He may hold third place for this last lap. But ladies and gentlemen, 40 qualifying heats are done and dusted. Just the finals to come as Jaden Edwards wins the final. He wins heat number 40. Jace Kempton second. Jason Jewell trying to hang on to third. It won't quite work. Blomley third. Jewell fourth. And Grant Harris in fifth place. Back then after that, Melissa Crutchley and Jared Wilkinson.
All right, everybody, come with me. Come on. Final time, final heat race. Come in. Let's step into the office of Jaden Edwards and have a word with Jason. Jaden, I hope you can fit about 2,000 people following us on the internet right now, mate. It's a squeezy fit in here. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. I would have been happy with a fourth in that one, but if it comes my way, I'll take it. So it bumps up a fair bit in the grid. So yeah, maybe even a top 5 now. So yeah, see what happens.
Mate, it certainly was a race of a few people falling out there. We thought a few people were looking comfortable, and then one by one they started to fall away. But you just kept at it, and you proved the old adage, it isn't over till you cross that finish line.
Yeah, Dad told me just stay low. Everyone was rolling tyres and hitting walls, so stay low and wait for them to stuff up, and it worked pretty well.
Speaking of your dad, mate, I'm sure there's a few more people than just your dad you'd like to thank.
Yeah, Nan and Pa coming and watching. Mum and sister, I'm sure they're watching at home. All the sponsors and yeah, anyone else who's helped out. Paul Rasm for making sure the engine's all good, and yeah.
All right, mate, thank you for letting us in your office. We look forward to your progress as the night progresses.
Yep, thank you very much.
Okay, there you have it, race fans. That was the final heat of the night. We finally ran them after 2 grueling nights. Many races won and done. Plenty of stories to be told throughout the pits from top to bottom, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Well, that concludes all the heats, and now we have the alphabet to start very, very shortly. Jason, back to you.